Who is up and who is free? Who is off with nothing to do like me? My attempts at poetry. Yes, yes, yes. Come on in. Give some likes when you come in, people, if you don't mind. Peace, peace, peace. Islam to you. Peace, Islam, Hotep, whatever. Whatever signifies peace, peace, peace. That's what I'm about. Except peace to the wicked. No peace for the wicked. No peace for the deceivers. No peace for the liars. None of that. Yeah, people, it's I'm doing this joint today because I watched the Corey Holcomb show. What's up, Keisha Ray? I watched the Corey Holcomb show the other night, and Zoe Williams, one of my favorite radio shows / blog shows / show hosts, co-hosts, came out and said how he has his own show, but he does a show with Corey Holcomb. And he was like how he gonna have this dude named Brother Polight on, which means he don't know Polight. He just probably heard of him, met him through people around, and I don't want to see Zoe Williams compromise his show, compromise the integrity of his show. That's why I'm doing this, because I like Zoe Williams, so I don't think for 2 seconds, if Zoe Williams really knew who Polight was and really knew what Polight was about, that he would fucking have that man on his show. The way I hear Zoe Williams talk and the way I see him, he wouldn't have Polight on his show if he really knew about him. So I don't know if the show took place already or is it still going to take place, but I wanted to at least get a little bit of noise headed that way, because like I said, this nigga don't need to keep blending in with new people and new people thinking, oh, this is a brother, a conscious brother who's blah 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 blah. He ain't none of that shit. He ain't none of that shit. If this lowly video ever gets to Zoe Williams, first off, peace and love to you. Love your show. Love Corey's show. I hope he never stops. But I'd like to let you know that this dude is a fucking clown. This dude is a liar. He keeps pushing on this polygamy shit like he has multiple wives and all this. Ask yourself, what nigga with multiple wives, all these black women around him, and he got all these wives, then you only got one child. Ask yourself, how come he don't never see the wedding photos from when they got married or none of that shit? Like, it's none of that shit to signify that he's actually married to any of these women, but he keeps running around talking about polygamy. Like, that's all you keep hearing now. And I think that he's trying to get a reality show. He is trying to get a reality show that's based on a conscious, black, controversial polygamy. I fuck with white people and cake for white people like he did for the white girl. Don't call her a cracker. But you don't see any white people anywhere talking about don't call him a nigger. See how niggas defend them and you never catch them defending you ever? Because that's how white supremacy works. And Polight has more than let us know that he'll say anything at any given time. I remember one time he was sitting on his couch with Tazariak, and Tazariak stopped. Tazariak and him was having a little debate. And Tazariak stopped right there in the middle of the shit and said, you know what, man? You'll say whatever at any given time to win that argument or that conversation, even if it's contradictory to shit you already said. And back then, we did not know how true that was. Like, this nigga Polight will literally say anything out his mouth. He got up on a fucking joint with Inky and other people and bashed Young Pharaoh about liking UFOs or being interested in UFOs. He bashed Young Pharaoh about extraterrestrials and things of that nature. And Polight, anybody who knows Polight knows his whole mantra is extraterrestrial. He gets online and talks about how people use his name to build themselves up and to get views. But he doesn't talk about how he was using Malachi Z. York's name from the moment we saw him till right about a year and a half ago or a year ago. Then he stopped saying Malachi Z. York so much because he was getting drugged for Malachi Z. York being a pedophile. So he stopped saying that, but by that time he was already out on Sonetta TV in the public eye. So it's like, nigga, you talk about people and you did the same shit. You talk about black people being smart and building and having our own community, but you do everything the opposite of that. Meaning, when black people try to have their own community and don't involve just black people and want to fight and cape for white people, I don't mind that you try to invite a white person over to the dark side. My problem is, why the fuck is you caping for these people to be on the dark side? See, that's a question that needs to be answered. Not the fact that you actually did it or said it. The fact that you're going through these links to make it happen. You're going through these links to make sure that these people are accepted by black people, yet you don't see these people going to their people and going through these links to make sure that black people are accepted by them, yo. Like, you can't do that shit, man. Where in the Pan-African handbook manual is that? Because you're Pan-African. You're all these cool things that you say. Where in the Pan-African manual or handbook does it say, what page and what chapter does it say cape for Europeans while Europeans never cape for you? Make sure a brother doesn't call a European a cracker, even though he has the right to say whatever he wants, given what those people have done to his people, and even if it is filthy Frank. And given what his people have done to his people, those people have done to our people, man, you're going to defend that nigga. You're going to defend her ass. Yet you will not find anywhere on that white girl's page where she probably even mentions Polight, let alone is up there defending him from your racist Europeans and things of that nature. So here we go again with another fucking glory whore, another fucking attempt to be famous, another attempt to be a celebrity. And it's like, yo, it's so, I hope, because Corey Holcomb said that he was going to go on the show. I guess he ain't had shit to do. He was like, I'm going to come up there. Or maybe he heard of Polight. And the way Corey Holcomb is, he likes catching motherfuckers that are full of shit. And I'd like to know why you keep having all these shows about polygamy when you're not married to any of these women for real. You don't have any real commitment to these women. That's like saying I could go close my eyes and spin around in a circle and point and see a brother on the street, and that nigga probably got 4 women that he sleeps with routinely. 3 women that he has that he sleeps with routinely if he's not in a relationship. Some of them have 3 and 4 women that they sleep with and are married and are in relationships. So they could say that they are in a polygamous relationship then, because a lot of the girls know about each other. Like, this is so full of shit, man, how he keeps painting this picture that he's this conscious Pan-African polygamist. Oh, that's controversial. Oh, let's see what this guy's about. Like, that's all that shit is. It's just clickbait. Nothing more, nothing less. It's just clickbait. See how controversial I am. Though I'm married to these women, and I've said multiple times that I get these women's businesses, but yet no one sees any businesses, and I've heard of any business that was started by Polight's wives that generate money and funds on a daily basis. Because if that was the case, you would be advertising it. Secondly, and almost, I want to say, more importantly than the reality show push, because that's what this is about, people. Trust it. Remember, you heard it here first. Remember, you heard it here first, that it's a reality show push. That is what he's going after. That is his goal. Okay? So, he's trying to get on every show imaginable in Hollywood so that his name circulates. He will just not, whether it's good or bad, You know what I'm saying? He wants to get on every name in Hollywood that he possibly can. Why? So that he could come back and say, I was with this person, I was with that person. And when I got to go do an interview tomorrow at the Corey Holcomb show, and then I got to go over, like trying to make it seem like he's doing all this moving and shaking, that we know in actuality, nigga, all you doing is just begging and pleading like everybody else who begs and pleads to get on Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb show. It's already been known, nigga, that way more talented and or popular, famous, actual celebrities be clamoring to get on this nigga show. So it's like, ain't nobody fooled about what you doing, Polight. You're trying to get a reality show because you're a glory whore and you want to be famous. And it is the opposite of everything that you ever said. That's why you keep getting banged on, because niggas is like, yo, you full of shit. And we seeing you trying to maneuver your full of shitness on different and more people. We heard the nigga, what's the, Kev Gills. I'm all acting like I'm forgetting this nigga. We heard my man Kev Gills. Kev Gills said months ago, he said, yo, watch, at a certain time, Polight's gonna move again. Did it or did it not happen? At a certain time, that room that we used to see, we don't see that shit no more. Right around the time that nigga said so. What does that mean? It's proof, nigga, that you're living in timeshares. It's proof that you're living life on the hustle out there. You are moving back and forth on the hustle. You are not living in a mansion. So just because you are purporting yourself to do that and it's not true, I gotta get you. Like, my whole thing is, if you was keeping shit 100% real, you would still have motherfuckers that followed you. If you was keeping that shit real, you would still have motherfuckers getting with you and still giving you their money, because it's new suckers born into this conscious lifestyle every day. It's new suckers born into this awakened state every day. Like, everybody don't know that the government is full of shit for real. Everybody don't know that, like, yo, there is no one religion, nigga. It's all about you and whatever your preference is. Everybody doesn't know that the government is ran by Europeans who basically practice white supremacy under the guise of fairness and justice. Like, everybody doesn't know that shit. So we know that shit. We're aware of that shit. We are cognizant of that shit. So there's new people coming in who are just becoming aware of that shit. And what are they going to do? They're going to look at who got the biggest platform, because that's what you see first on social media. So they're going to see all this red, black, and green, and the yellow, red, and green, and they're going to see all this shit on Sarnetta's page and other brothers that are attached to him, and they're going to go there first. And they're going to listen, and they're going to hear niggas talk about status correction, and they're going to hear niggas talk about how they could get you out of child support if you got child support issues. Now, that's one of the main reasons I wanted to do the live stream real quick, because I wanted to point out a couple of things. Notice, never stop noticing how when someone is selling you any type of status correction or anything that has to do with the courts, and it has to do with you using anything that says UCC this, UCC that, UCC whatever the fuck, immediately know that you are being scammed. One of the reasons that you can surefire 100% put your money on it that you're being scammed is they don't have any fucking evidence of any of this shit. Now, come on now. We are in 2017. We've been hearing about this status correction shit since the 90s. We've been hearing about all of this shit from, let's just talk about Kate, the person at hand right now, with Polight. We've been hearing about all of this shit we've been hearing about all of this shit with him and status correction. Now we just heard about the child support. Now he's supposed to be a child support guru as well. So here we go. Name one time anyone has seen Polight in court using this shit. You haven't. Name one time you've seen anybody that got a status correction or a child support correction from Polight and use that shit in court to succeed in whatever the fuck they were doing. Like, this is where we're at with this shit, yo. If you're selling all these status corrections, you're selling all this shit, dog, we want to see some video footage of you using this shit. We want to see video footage of you in court using this, or the people actually in court using this shit, taking the court, putting the judge on notice, taking control of the court and all of that shit that y'all say. We want to see that shit on TV, man. We want to see that shit on camera in real time, how it actually works, how it's actually performed. If someone comes to me, if I come to someone and say, look, I just got this new job. They start everybody off with $17 coming in the door and they're looking for 30 more people. Okay, what is that person that I said that to gonna do? The very first thing that person's gonna do, they're gonna ask questions about, well, how do I get in there? What do I have to do to get in there? Do I have to fill out a paper application? Do I have to do it online? Do I have to have some pee ready? Because if I smoke and I gotta go do a drug test, or do they not do drug tests, or do they do the mouth swab, or do they, like, you're gonna ask, what do I have to do? What qualifications do I need to get in here? Things of that nature. Those questions are gonna be asked, dog. Those questions are gonna be asked. So when I'm looking at somebody who's purporting to sell status corrections, when I'm looking at somebody who's offering all types of guru shit when it comes to child support, which is serious matters, where they be locking motherfuckers up for that shit. So it's like, I'm watching this motherfucker put all this shit on this website on your fucking screen, and nowhere on that screen is there anywhere that speaks upon that shows, where the fuck you can see this nigga doing this shit in real time. Nobody. The other day, Prince York, who I'm about to do a video on in a couple minutes, this nigga Prince York goes on, he's talking with Sinetta, okay? First off, did y'all hear that fucking video, yo, that this Prince York did? This nigga said, oh my God. This nigga said the police came to the house and they was looking for him, okay? Or they was looking, they called out a name, okay? So what did he do? He went into that status correction, UCC, claimed the court, I am a sovereign, this, that, and the third stuff. Okay, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying, nigga, that's what you did. That's what he went into. Boom, he goes into that. What does he say? He says how, oh, they ended up leaving because I told them I am not that person, such and such and such and such. I stood on my diplomatic status, XYZ, blase, blase, blah. Okay, wonderful. You stood on your all of that shit like that. Then he talks and keeps on talking, and later on down the line of the conversation, you talk about how you get arrested and then they throw you in jail, this, that, and the third. Why didn't you use it again then? Like, yo, why would you not use that shit when it counts the most? Why can't any of these people ever use this status correction shit when it counts the most? When it counts the most is when these people are grabbing you and throwing your ass in jail. So when they're grabbing you and accosting you and throwing you and putting you in a cell, nigga, why are you not using your status correction C3418- diplomatic, I'm a sovereign of the new Wapian such and such and such to get out of shit? When they were snatching Polight skinny black ass up coming out of that check cashing place in the middle of the night which all millionaires do. When they snatched that nigga up out of that fucking place, yo, why didn't they use it? Why didn't Polight say, hey, what are you doing? Stop touching me. I am in this suit. Grand epicet of the national illustrious new covenant, and I am the leader, and I am sovereign. Why didn't you say none of that shit? All I heard was okay, I'm going, okay. What the fuck, nigga? That don't sound like no illustrious new suit, grand epicet. So always remember, yo, you ain't never gonna hear no motherfucking facts. You ain't never gonna see no fucking facts. You ain't never gonna see shit as far as evidence. I'm gonna tell y'all, in all the years I've been doing this, and now this is 2017, we could push this shit basically back to 2007. So for 10 years that I've been going through this shit, yo, I'm here to tell you, yo, that status correction shit is monkey poo. The only way that you can get at these people is asking them questions of fact, because they do not like answering questions of fact, because questions of fact point out and show easily how it's a scam and how they're working against you. But when you go in there and you start talking that UCC shit, what you are doing, you are taking a burden of proof upon yourself. Why would you do that when the prosecutor has a burden of proof, and the prosecutor has no evidence that any of the things that she says to you actually apply to you? All you have to do is ask them. Just ask them and watch them dance around the question. It's simple to get to. It's not hard or difficult. So all of that shit, man, is monkey poo. And the reason I say it's monkey poo is because you don't fucking provide evidence. Now, I'm tired of just hearing people say it. I'm tired of hearing people sound clever, polite. What you have to do is reclaim your status. Once you reclaim your status, then you shut the fuck up and show me in real time reclaiming my status. Show me that shit in real time. Said his name, exactly, said his name ain't Quincy. But yo, the whole point of it is, listen to one, the whole point is, yo, hold on, y'all, this girl. Sorry about that, people. Anyway, Prince York was up there running his mouth saying he ain't Quincy. Fuck all that Quincy shit, nigga. I want to know why when they grabbed you and actually put your ass in chains and put your ass in that cage, why did you not use your... That's what the status is for. The status is not to trick people. The status is not to pretend as though it's not, oh, look, oh, it ain't me, it's him. No, I ain't got no ID. That's not my name. That's not my name. Listen, I'm actually not him. Dog, get the fuck out of here with that monkey shit, nigga. Why the fuck didn't you stand up to that individual like you tell everybody else on their status correction to do? You tell them you must assert yourself and take back the court. You must do this, you must do that. But when it's time to see this shit in real time, we're not seeing any of this shit. We're not seeing any of these things transpire. Now, we had it's a one person out here that I give credit to that actually bring, although two people. One is a set of European people. And they actually bring out, you know, cameras every time they go to court. I don't give a fuck if it's for a trespassing charge, jaywalking. Them motherfuckers is in court with cameras, 10 deep, 4 deep, however the fuck. Okay? So don't tell me it can't be done because it happens. And it's a brother, I think he's in Indiana. He calls himself True Freeman. And yo, like I said, I don't agree with that status correction shit because you're taking a burden of proof on yourself. But the point is, that nigga goes to court with cameras. Every time True Freeman is in court, he has a fucking camera and he's detailing everything and he's actually saying the stuff that he says to people. He's trying and using this stuff in court. So I give him kudos and respect because he's actually applying this shit. Not only is he applying this shit, he's applying it and providing facts and or evidence, what is called proof, that he's doing this shit in court. Not that he's just telling you to do it and give him $400 and do this, do that, do this, do that. But when the person who told you to get him $400 gets arrested on the street, all they say is, okay. Like, come on, man. How do you do that? How does the person who's promoting that shit, Prince York, tells you how he basically, him and his moms, tricked the police into thinking that he wasn't Quincy? Nigga, you know that nigga named Quincy because somebody who birthed that nigga named him Quincy. So you know his name is fucking Quincy. You just came in there and said, just because he doesn't go by that name, Quincy, anymore, and he goes by whatever the fuck he goes by, whatever Nuwapi, whatever the fuck he calls himself. So then you go by that shit and you trick the police into basically leaving him alone, making them think, look, we don't want to grab no black man. We don't want to grab this nigga and have a whole bunch of bullshit on our hands because he's not even the right person. But then they go down the street and call and say Quincy. And then your dumb ass turn around because you Quincy. And they run up and snatch you. Now, when they run up and snatch you, why didn't you say, I am Noble Prince York Nuwapu, leader of the Despot organization and crew and nation of whatever the fuck, nigga? Why are you saying none of this stuff? Why aren't you saying any of these things? The same goes for Polight. Like I said, how come we don't ever see him in court saying all these things? I don't ever see this shit happening. You're not ever going in there saying anything to these judges about that bullshit that you're running your mouth about. Because that's all you're doing is running your mouth as far as I'm concerned now. It's beyond anything legitimate anymore with that stuff, because I gave it a chance, because I actually looked into it. I gave it a chance because a lot of the shit that they say is true, because a lot of the shit is based off fact. Meaning, how did the judge get the power that he has? Doesn't he have to do this? Doesn't he have to do that? They should have to do this. Okay, whatever the fuck. The point is, they're not doing that shit. And the only way to address that shit is through questions of fact. The only way you can get past that shit is through questions of fact. I don't understand how you could go in and take a burden on yourself and then sell your method to other people. You're selling this method to other people, yet while you're selling this method to other people, you're not providing any fucking evidence that it actually works. And then when we see you get arrested, you get a lawyer. What do they always say? If you get a lawyer, then the lawyer is going to fuck you up and make you lose your sovereignty, because once you get a lawyer, then you come underneath the jurisdiction of such and such, never showing how this jurisdiction actually, you know what I'm saying, originated. But anyway, like, come on, G. Come on, G. Like, that shit's crazy, yo. Like, nobody shows any evidence, and he's the main one. He's never showed any evidence about anything that he fucking talks about. This shit has been documented in video after video after video. Like, yo, this dude just says shit out of his mouth, yo. He wants to be an entertainer. He wants to have a reality TV show. That is his dream. That is his fucking goal in life right now. Polight's whole goal in life and whole dream in life is to have a fucking reality show. That way, enough people will see him to the point where he can feel famous. And enough people will see him to enough, and that'll be new, fresh victims where he could sell status correction to. New, fresh victims that he could sell whatever the fuck else that he sells and lies. Products that people never get. Books with fucking writing in them. No editing, no nothing. No forwarding, no nothing. No... just, I wrote this book for nothing, just absolute nothing. Just copy and paste. And then, do y'all remember? See, this is the whole thing, man. All that shit is starting to come up. Do y'all remember when this nigga said about his wives and him writing 80 plus, 100 plus books or whatever? This motherfucker said, yo, and Tawan, I wish Tawan, I want her to fucking, her and Tiff to listen, because they be remembering old shit that these niggas said. Remember, y'all, when this motherfucker said that I'm the author of 80 plus books, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, people ask me what inspires me to write 80 plus books in such and such a time. And he was like, it's my wives. That's why I call my wives God, because I use my wives as energy to fuel me to do something. My wife see me studying, she come out, she rub my head. She like, she thinks that's sexy, that blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yo, so it inspires me to write a book because it turns on my wives and this, that, and the third. So you wrote 80 plus books. So you turned your wives on 80 plus times and you only got one kid. Okay, never mind all that. Anyway, do you see how asinine that shit sounds? Like, yo, look how he's using you, sisters. Again, how he purports to love black women, but all he does is use them as a shield to do his bullshit. It's no different than a pimp. A pimp, and all the women that's with the pimp think that they call him daddy. Nigga, what the fuck? They love this nigga. They think this nigga love them. They don't know that he's just using them as a shield. Go out here and get my money so I don't have to go out here and get hurt getting money. Go out here and get this money for me so I ain't gotta sweat and break a sweat and do nothing to get this money. Go out here and sell these drugs and get this money for me so when you get snatched up, I could just send you cupcake money and shit like that, but I ain't locked up. You locked up for trafficking and hustling. Here, they're just being used as a shield for him, and they don't realize that shit. They think that he's saying all these things. Oh, I inspired my husband. You inspired this nigga to fucking copy and paste somebody else shit? Do you see when we get to the bottom of this shit? Dog, you didn't write any books. All you did was actually copy and paste, and you know that's what you did. So now that it's known, it's a fact now. It's not up to suggestion anymore. You were copying and pasting books. So now that we know that's what you did, you copy and pasted the fucking books, then you're going to blame your copy and pasting on a sister. That's a damn shame. That's a goddamn shame. Yo, shut up. Not thinking, knowing. Those are two different things, yo. Yeah, man. But my man Zoe Williams is, I think he's being duped right now. He's being duped. Not really. Not saying Zoe's stupid or whatever. He probably, like I said, just, hey, I think this is brother out here trying to get on and whatever. What up, Latasha Pope? Welcome. Yes. We got a little polite talk. This nigga trying to weasel his way on other shows. Trying to weasel his way into a reality show, and he thinks we're stupid. I keep telling y'all, remember you heard it here first. I'm not going to relinquish that shit. Polight is attempting to get a reality show. He's trying to use polygamy and consciousness, black consciousness, Pan-Africanism to get a reality show. And then he's going to run around and use that. He's going to run around and use that as, you got these people out here hating on me. The people that he calls haters are the ones he owes money to. Don't forget that important part of the story. Now we can continue. You got these people out here hating on me. Who out here is on a nationwide basis? No, it ain't nationwide, bitch. It's just VH1, nigga. Don't everybody watch reality shows. But anyway, you got me out here on a nationwide basis, out here promoting the black life and the black bullshit, nigga. I heard you caping for white people, more for white people in the last year than you've said anything about black people. Every time I even hear you refer to white people now, it is in an extremely positive light and manner. For a group of people to be currently holding back your people down at every turn for no other reason just to do it, for no other reason than just to do it in their own hatefulness and jealousy. I don't hear you mentioning any of that shit about them anymore. Everything you say is about black people, just like Stephen A. Smith and them niggas. It's apparent, yo. I heard you. It's on the video that I did. I put the fucking video up with you talking to Sarnetta, and Sarnetta called that white girl cracker, and saw it for real, start. I'm pretty sure 10 people around that white girl already asked her, what are you doing with that nigger and posing with that nigger? And I guarantee you she didn't one time say, hey, come on, stop. Don't call him a nigger. Fucking clown, man. Fucking clown, G. He's a fucking clown, man. I just, like I said, I like Zoe Williams. I like a lot. I like shit every time. Every time they put a fucking show up. So I didn't want to see them brothers tainting they fucking selves. But they taint themselves anyway with most of the people they be around. So I can't even look at it like that anymore. Like, I know, because he's already said this shit. Like, he in Hollywood and most of them motherfuckers are full of shit. Well, I just want you to know, Zoe Williams, Corey Holcomb, if you go on the show, that this is another person who's completely full of shit. He's a millionaire, multi-millionaire to poor people. That's what he promotes himself to poor people as. A multi-millionaire who's doing all this, who lives in a mansion and is doing all these things. Yet this nigga begs people for money. And Corey Holcomb is on that. Because I watch his show and he talks a lot about people who beg for money and all that stuff like that on social media platforms. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I'd like to see that shit. I like to see, because I like to see him ask him and look back at some of his stuff like, nigga, if you got an I-8 and you doing all this, how the fuck was you just in November, December begging motherfuckers for lawyer money? Like, come on, yo, that shit don't even make sense. That shit don't even make sense to any fucking person that got any type of common sense. That is the most asinine thing in the fucking world. This nigga Polight is fucking using women. He uses black women as a shield to fucking manipulate people and get his way. Like, I'm trying to tell you, yo, if you look back at it, like Ashley Wright, again, we got to keep bringing this sister up. Why do we have to bring her up? Because it's recent, and it's just another recent person saying how Polight's full of shit. It's a what's up, Greaves? It's another fucking another real life witness with personal first-hand knowledge to attest that Polight is a fucking liar. That 90% of the shit he said is a lie. I didn't see the new ones yet. Because I'm in here now. I just stopped to do this. I don't know what made me just come on live right now. But because I was in here doing a video on Sonetta's stuttering ass. So I got to pull up all his stuttering shit and put it on the video, finish putting it on the video. Because he's a stuttering bastard. He's a fucking, how the fuck, nigga, you run around talking about science. These Negroes ain't giving you no science on their page. They not bringing the science to you people. I'm bringing the science to the society. Bitch, you can't even say science, bitch. You fucking retarded motherfucker, yo. This nigga Sonetta, yo, is a fucking fraud, yo. He's the biggest one of them all, like I said, because Sonetta's really dumb and he's just a thief. And everything that he did, he built off thievery. And then he for it. That's the main reason that started making me look at Sonetta, when he always wanted somebody to come on his show and like big him up like he's the Godfather or some shit. And it's like, nigga, how the fuck is you stealing other people's work, nigga? Like, all you did was take Dr. Delbert Blair's DVDs and Ashwa Kwesi's DVDs and all these people's DVDs and just sell and put them out there, nigga. That's all you did. The fuck? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And everything that you back, everything, then this nigga Polight, I want to hear that on the interview too. I want to hear how the fuck, why you keep defending pedophiles, and why the fuck did Malachi Z. York's son come out and try to trick somebody and talking about it was his brother. Now it's an evil son. Now it's Cain. You know what I mean? Cain destroyed Abel and da-da-da-da-da-da. Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear no motherfucking Bible references. I don't want to hear no motherfucking Quran references. I don't want to hear anything from no fucking niggas except why the fuck do people have detailed stories about molestation? That's all I want to know. Why are there people running around Earth with detailed information and stories about Dr. York molesting them and being present? So how the fuck his son, yo, this nigga, I was saving this for a whole nother video, but we talking about it now. Yo, this nigga Prince York, listen to this shit. This nigga Prince York said they got councils in the Nuwaubian culture. So in the Nuwaubian culture, they supposedly got some fucking councils. In these councils, in the Nuwaubian culture, they address the Dr. York situation. So when they addressed the Dr. York situation, what they came to found was they told the victims now, remember this is what these people, the council is telling the victims. This motherfucker told the victim that no, Dr. Malachi Z. York did not molest you. We know what really happened to you, and we're going to tell you what happened to you. It was his son who hold on. How the fuck is a motherfucker going to be standing in a room saying, I was in another room with that man, Malachi Z. York, and that woman, and that other woman, and that guy, and another child, and they were having and watching us and teaching us how to perform sex acts on each other when I was 13, 14 years old, 12 years old, however the fuck, nigga. How the fuck are you going to fucking tell me that there's a counsel that's going to tell that person, nah, that ain't what happened to you, I'm going to tell you what happened to you? First off, if you telling that motherfucker what really happened to them, then you knew. How did you not know when you're telling them what happened to them? How the fuck you gonna tell me what happened and you weren't there? I'm trying to tell you, yo, if you want to be a part of one of these organizations, the very first thing you have to do is let go of logic, common sense, and reason, because that is illogical and that makes absolutely no sense. And who would ever fucking think to even accept some shit like that, let alone say some shit like that to somebody? You gonna go tell a person who was not blindfolded? I could see if they blindfolded the nigga and threw him in a room and did all the stuff, and he could have thought he heard Malachi Z. York's voice, but he really heard Malachi Z. York's son, because most people sound like their parents if you listen to their voice. Okay, boom. That's plausible. That is actually plausible for someone to, if someone were to say, hey, nah, that's not what happened to you. This is what really happened to you. But motherfucker, how is this nigga going to be awake, eyes wide open in the room, and this shit's going on? You're not in the room. You're supposedly nowhere around, but you're going to tell him what the fuck actually happened to them. Yo, oh my God. That's why, see where Polight gets this shit from? I can see why he talks the way he does. I bet most Nuwapian niggas talk exactly the way they talking right now. You gotta talk that way if you running around calling somebody God, nigga. And I don't mean somebody, I mean somebody other than your motherfucking self, nigga. Like, I don't understand that concept, nigga. You born by yourself. Even if you a twin, you still born by your fucking self. You born in your own flesh by yourself. That's your flesh. That's your car until that car finally break down and you leave it until you get another one. So I don't understand the concept of any sort of worship other than the energy that was put into me, which had to have come from the creator. But long story short, nigga, why do we always get these fucking godlike entities who come through and tell us all this cool shit about themselves, but then next thing you know, they always locked up and they God power don't work when it comes to going to jail and all this shit like that? I'm gonna give you another case in point. The same way you heard when Polight was out talking shit to Pharaoh. He was out talking shit, telling young Pharaoh, if you astro project, how come you on parole? How come you can't astro project yourself off parole? Ha 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 ha. So how come that shit don't work for Dr. Malachi Z. York? Now Malachi Z. York wasn't talking about astro projection? Who the fuck wants to stand here and say Malachi Z. York wasn't preaching and teaching astro projection? Who gonna say that Malachi Z. York wasn't teaching that he's a god and he's this, that, and the third? How they get that god in the fucking in jail? How they do that, Polight? How they put your god in jail when he's a deity? What is that deity doing locked up? Fucking hilarious, man. These fucking dudes are crazy, man. These fucking dudes are crazy. Because Prince York is starting to get pushed now on Sinetta TV. Do you guys not noticing that? Trying to gravitate to the Nuwapians. Because all that is debate set up. Prince York is a known name. Even though nobody knows who the fuck he is, he's a known name as far as his father and him being around. So they know he's associated with Nuwapians and all of that shit. Yo. It's debate set up. That's all. Don't watch. Tasha, when I do any, like the little video I did with Polight and him talking, when I tell you, yo, I had to stomach that shit, I have to stomach that shit. I have to get ready I can't, yo. I can't. I gotta stomach it. I gotta get ready to do that shit because I can't listen to them niggas because they so full of shit. Oh, when you hear Sinetta talk, after all the stuttering, all you're gonna hear is him igniting some sort of conflict. That's it. That's all he does. When Sinetta talks and he's finished stuttering through whatever the fuck he's initially stuttering about, the rest of the conversation is going to be nothing but him igniting some sort of beef and or confrontation so that he can capitalize and manipulate on it later. Like I said, Prince York, you bring Prince York up there, all you're doing is setting it up, try to talk about the molestation shit so that you can say you addressed it. Well, yeah, I brought Prince York on and we addressed the we talked about messing with kids, and after we talked about that, that was it, and so now we ready now to go in on this new Wapian. Okay? Now y'all heard of the new Wapians. Y'all black, y'all know about the new Wapian. This motherfucker sound like a circus leader or something. Hey, come on. We are the great cat dog, the new invention. Come see cat dog jump through loops. Like, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here, G. That's all he does is ignite beefs. The new Wapian culture. But right here, right now, what we gotta talk about is Kemet. And Kemet trying to be destroyed now by the new Wapians. And then next thing you're gonna see Prince York up there again, and he's gonna be talking or whatever, and out of nowhere, air quotes, out of nowhere, he's gonna get a call from Reggie or Polight or something like that. That's all he does. So Sonetta, if you sitting there saying I'm wrong, if all Sonetta flunkies are saying I'm wrong, tell me that's not exactly what the fuck he does. Tell me that's not what he does, G. I don't want to hear that shit. That's exactly what he does. When you hear Polight talk, what does he do? At the end of him talking, every time Polight talks, every time he fucking speaks, and when he's done talking, you're supposed to have the sense that this guy is a victim of something. You're always supposed to have a sense that this guy is just out trying to be the most righteous person on the planet, but he's just being misunderstood. That's why he's always comparing himself to people like Malcolm X. Next thing you're going to hear, he's going to say he's like Jesus. He was just walking and trying to give the people light, and they were stoning him. And this, that, and the third. Like, that's what you're going to hear. That's all he talks about. That's all he talked about. It's fucking easy to fucking decipher this shit. It's not hard. That's why I say it's never difficult for me to put in work on these dudes. Never difficult at all, man. The only difficult part is actually having to listen to the words that they're saying. So when I'm actually listening to the fucking words that they're saying, then I have to actually listen to the words. And that shit is annoying. Who wants to do that shit? Nobody wants to fucking listen to them fucking weirdos. Nobody wants to hear you talk about how the black woman is God to you and hear how the black woman is everything to you. Yet every time we turn around, the black women in your life, you're fucking them over. We noticed that some of the original air quote wives that were with you aren't around. We know that some of the air quote wives have never been your wife and only portray your wife on YouTube TV. That's why he's ready for a fucking reality show, because his whole life is a fucking scam anyway. It's all a reality show right now. That's all it is right now. It's a fucking reality show. He wants to say he's the first conscious Pan-African to have a reality show. Now imagine what you would have to do to be a conscious Pan-African black man, to have more, whatever you want to call it, to identify ourselves as. What the fuck would you have to do to get a reality show in America? In America. You doing a lot of bootlicking. You doing a lot of flip-flopping. You doing a lot of caping like he did for whatever that white girl's name was when Sonetta called her a cracker. I want you all to go listen to the video. It's only it's early in it, probably like 8 minutes in or something like that. Sonetta calls the white girl a cracker, and he gets just totally defensive of her, and he laughs it off, but he says for real. So I'm from the streets too, nigga. I know that a nigga saying, yo, chill, nigga, and a nigga laughing and a nigga saying, nah, for real, chill. I know what that means. Nigga, you for real, you serious about it. You was caping for that white girl, and you can't bring up 2 instances when some white people were caping for you when you were being racially slurred. I'm not talking about if you was making money with somebody and they say, hey man, leave this guy alone. Oh well, I'm talking, let's talk real. We ain't talking that bullshit. I'm talking actual, factual. Nigga, this is how I feel about you as an entity on this planet. And this is how I feel. Somebody's calling, like I said, it's at least 10 people who've asked that white girl, what is she doing taking a picture with that nigga? I want her to come out and try to deny that shit. I want her to come out and try to deny that it hasn't been at least 10 of her family members or friends, people that she knows, that ask, what are you doing with that fucking monkey? What are you doing with that fucking nigger? And see how many times she defended him. Ask her how many times she said, hey, stop it, for real. Don't call Polight a nigger. But the man who brought him out, the man who produced him, the man, that's going to be a video I'm going to do, y'all, so we can keep driving a wedge between them. I'm going to do a video, I'm going to call it, Why Does Polight Disrespect Sarnetta? And then I'm going to just focus it right there. Like, you're going to tell this man who out here in the community doing the work. Air quotes, doing the work. That's like economics. I don't want to hear that no more. I think that word has been played out just like narrative, economics, and doing the work. That's been played out. Nobody wants to hear that anymore. I don't want to hear that shit no more. That shit's done. Doing the work. Because don't nobody have no fucking track record of nothing that they fucking boots on the ground. I don't want to hear that shit no more. Because it's monkey shit. Okay? It's horse shit. Nobody wants to hear any of that bullshit. All you guys doing is setting up beefs and running your mouth. But staying on this driving a wedge between Polight and Sarnetta point. What I want to do here is we want to focus on how Sarnetta, with his boots on the ground, he's out here doing the work for the community. And he calls our enemy, now, everyone knows, our enemy, the white supremacists, and this, that, and the third. He basically calls that motherfucker what it is. It called him a cracker because that's what they were doing, cracking niggas. So he calls her that, okay? And Polight vehemently defends her against Sarnetta. All that Sarnetta's done for Polight. He gave Polight the whole Black News 102 as his oyster. It was his. He could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do with it for at least 2 years. This is what Sarnetta did for you, Polight, and you betray him like that? This is crazy, man. This is crazy. This whole story is bigger than what we all thought, you know? And like I said, beware now. This is only a beware live stream. You know, this is a beware. This is beware of that fucking, beware Zoe Williams, please, of having that shit on your fucking platform. And we're going to charge Internal Affairs, since he's out there in Cali. We're going to charge Internal Affairs with actually picking us up because he's out there and letting it get some steam, because we don't need this fucking filth fucking with Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams show, even though they deal with filth all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm aware that they deal with filth all the time, so it's okay. But in a sense, it's okay. But yeah, this is what we want to do, man. We want to continue to put our foot on their necks and let you guys know that all Polight wants to do is set himself up for a reality show. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. He's trying to be the first polygamous Pan-African, look at me, I'm so controversial person out here. Okay? That's all he's trying to do. Prince York is running around here doing all types of weird, nefarious things as far as with his name. First, he's telling people, hey, they didn't arrest me because I'm a diplomat and they can't arrest me. And I'm a Nuwapian diplomatic such and such and such. Then he goes outside and the cop says, hey, Quincy. And this dickhead turns around and he gets arrested. And then all of that Nuwapian shit goes out the door. All of that I'm a diplomat shit goes out the door. All of that shit goes out of the window. Just fucking crazy. It's just fucking crazy. Hey, Kari. Yeah? Hey, bring me that brown and stitching cord over there. This one that's attached to one. Well, you already did. There's no time to eat again. I already know. She think I'm slick. She think I'm slick. I'm coming in a second. Yeah. Yeah. That's what's going on out here right now, people. We got scammers trying to move up in the world and get motherfucking shows. We got motherfucking what's the name? We got Prince Yorkie Jr. You know what I'm saying? Yorkie Jr. trying to show up, and then all of a sudden, Sonetta got Prince York up there on TV. The next thing you know is going to be a debate between Prince York and Tahara Wara of ISUPK or Saka Waka of ISUPK or somebody like that. Try to set him up, bring it. Like, this all contrived. We seen this shit. We're breaking this shit down because this story's fucking been told. The fuck is wrong with these niggas? This story's been told. Then you got Sonetta, and the one time that he doesn't sound like a fucking weirdo when he's addressing Polight about him out in Hollywood doing the work for the community by taking pictures with white girls. I don't know how that's doing the work for the community. I don't know where in the Malcolm X Pan-African Garvey handbook, Dr. Ben handbook and guide where you get that shit from, but whatever. That's Polight read it in there somewhere, and that's what he's doing. So he's out there doing that, and he gets addressed by Sonetta, and he's vehemently defending the people who never vehemently and or defend you at all. Fuck that. This is what's going on. He defends white girls and pedophiles. That nigga defends white girls and pedophiles. That's it. If you black and you think that you gonna be defended by Polight in any way, you had better be a pedophile, and that's it. That's it. Yeah, Chemo. Everybody know that nigga York is a fucking... Listen, man. He already proved that status correction is bullshit, because if it worked the first time, there should be no reason it doesn't work the second time. So there's no reason in hell in the world, that you could fucking tell, well, hell, there's no reason in this world that you could fucking tell me that would convince me to shut up about this when you telling me, motherfucker, that you used this shit in an instance and it was successful. And then they tried to get you again, which all you have to do is use it again, motherfucker, because listen, dog, listen. If motherfuckers was throwing a spear at you and you picked up a shield and you blocked the fucking spear to keep yourself from dying, yo, if you see another person throw a spear at you again, what would you do? You would pick that fucking shield up and do it again. Why the fuck would you not do it again, nigga? Like, so that just proves right there that you and your family members convinced them police that you wasn't Quincy, and saying that ain't Quincy, I'm his mother, and I'm telling you his name is Saga Waka Rawa Wawa Wawa, or whatever the fuck his name was, and that's that, nigga, and you got away, and then you came on and you used that shit and added, all you did was add diplomatic and all that bullshit to it to make us think and or believe, nigga, that that's the reason why you got left alone. You got left alone because you were on some sort of diplomatic status. You got left alone because you're a sovereign, Baba of the Nuwapian nation, and they jurisdiction don't matter to me. But it mattered when that nigga said Quincy and snatched your ass. Yo, all these dudes are fucking weirdos, man. Fucking weirdos, man. I swear, yo. Yo, you know what, internal, you know what, Kev? He do make it seem like his father didn't say he you know what the crazy part about it? He make the shit seem like, he make it seem like everybody is setting him up. Now, I do know that people can get set up by this government and by these people that these Europeans don't like. I know that one of the first things they try to do is try to say you got caught with kiddie porn or some shit like that would just drive people into an outrage, and that's that. I understand that shit. Nigga, I also understand that when those people are addressed, they will not have detailed situations and or stories, nigga, and to account back to with you. You could find the holes in their story. You could find the fucking holes in their story. You have people who are accusing Dr. York of doing certain things with detailed stories. These are witnesses with personal firsthand knowledge with other witnesses to them. They even talked about how certain people try to get them to say certain things and how people not get... Yo, I'm not trying to hear that shit, because if you look at the pressure that Polight was putting on that young man, and that was on camera. Imagine the pressure that other Nuwapians are putting on people, victims of Dr. York. They're probably putting that same amount of pressure on them. They're probably sitting there saying, why are you doing this to the God? Why are you doing this to Doc? Doc love us. He fed you. He brought you in here. He was just trying to get you some pussy. I know that's what some of them motherfuckers is saying, yo, behind closed doors. Because Polight was mad. He looked like he was more mad that he couldn't spaz on the nigga because the camera was out there. That's what he looked more mad about, sitting out there with that fucking afro on the back of his head. This nigga got an afro on the back of his head. That nigga hairline so fucking far back. He got an afro on the back of his fucking head. Oh shit, yo. Yeah, Prince York out of jail. That's probably what Prince York ain't in jail no more, but Dr. York ass ain't coming out. They ain't letting that nigga out of there. They been wanting to get that nigga for something, first off, because you are black and you uniting people. So if he's uniting people and shit like that, dog, that's what they're gonna do, dog. That's what they're gonna do, yo. They're gonna fucking try to bring you down. But when you doing shit like that, hey. Yeah, he need to cut that shit, man. Nigga, a fucking afro on the back of your head. What the fuck is wrong with you, G? Just cut that shit off. He won't cut it off because he probably been called peanut head so much that it gave him a complex. Because the only reason a motherfucker could do shit like that, constantly do shit like that, is if they have a complex. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a complex. Like, I don't give a fuck about it because I'm a big nigga. I'm fat, nigga. So I still take my shirt off, nigga, because I don't have a complex about me being big. You know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas, like, motherfuckers have complexes about that shit. If somebody made a joke about me, one of the first things I'd probably do is laugh. Especially if it was funny. So I don't take shit serious. Then you, like, not no joke. So then you got motherfuckers that'll take shit extra serious and they develop complexes behind it. And that nigga from New York or wherever the fuck he was living at, and I'm pretty sure them niggas was riding that nigga's head. Yo, that nigga, I get, there's no way in hell that them New York niggas wasn't riding the fuck out of Polight's head. And his neighborhood, all of that shit. All of that shit. They was riding the fuck out of this nigga's peanut ass head. This nigga got a peanut head with a fucking afro on the back. Yo, I seen that picture somebody put on in the Facebook group the other day calling that nigga the young phenom with that fucking close-up. I was like, oh, look at this rough-looking motherfucker, yo. God damn, Polight, you is one ugly motherfucker. This nigga said he got 4 wives, y'all. He's dealing with polygamy out here in California and in the black community. And 2 weeks later, Ashley Wright come out and say ain't none of that shit true. It was all for the cameras. That lets us know your whole life is a show. Everything you produce is a fucking show. Everything that you bring to the people is a show. And that's why we want Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb to know, like, yo, this nigga's full of shit. You can ask him real powerful questions, and that's that. Yeah, Polight's a Crip superior. You know what I'm saying? He's the Grand Epperset of the Crip Nation. Grand Epperset. This nigga's superior. And you notice how he's always something top notch. He can't just be a Crip. He got to be a Crip superior. You know what I'm saying? He can't just be a Pan-African. He got to be the evolution of the revolution. He can't just be in the revolution. No, he's the evolution of that revolution. What are you talking about? He can't just be in the conscious community. No, he must be the Nisut Grand Epperset. Illustrious Cavity. He can't just be a street nigga. He got to be Brother Cavity. Known for fucking shooting motherfuckers in the tooth. This nigga say he shoot people in the teeth. Oh man, that's what's gonna hurt, yo. This nigga say he shoots people in their teeth. And so they started calling him Cavity. Oh my Lord, man. Oh shit, yo. This nigga's a tooth shooter. Shot my man in the mouth, and all he lost was a tooth. You didn't blow the side of his mouth open. You ain't none of that shit. You shot him and he lost one tooth. Nigga's a fucking weirdo. Holy shit, yo. This nigga Cavity, man. Cavity is the only man in the world who went to jail for murder with the victim sitting in the courtroom. This nigga supposedly murdered somebody and the victim is sitting in there talking to the judge. How the fuck you went here for murder? Oh my God, yo. Yo. This nigga said he was doing trial for murder, but the dude wasn't dead. How does that happen? Walk me down that fucking street, man. Yes, yo, Grandma 3000, thank you for another woman being able to say that. There's no way in hell that no black man on this planet is going to have 4 wives and 1 child. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here, nigga. I would have 10 kids within the first 3 years of the marriage. Depending on the twins. Whoever had twins and shit. Because they run in my family. So I'd probably have 10 kids. Like, come on, man. How the fuck is anyone going to believe a virile ass black man as virile as we are? When we got 1 woman and 5 kids. We got 2 women, 2 baby mamas, and got 11 kids. That we gonna have 4 beautiful, let me hold the beautiful. When we got 4 women, let me not be too quick with that beautiful thing. But I'm not gonna do that to them sisters. But most of them are scam artists too, so fuck them. But so we gonna hold the beautiful. But you got 4 sisters around you, and I don't give a fuck whether they ugly, fat, or whatever, yo. All black women got sex appeal to me. So there's no way in the hell it's going to be 4 of them walking around my house in booty shorts and tights, and I only got 1 kid. You are not virile. You are impotent, man. The grand, illustrious, impotent. Polight is the illustrious impotent. Oh my goodness gracious. This 40-year-old motherfucker. Running around acting like you fucking, oh my God. Of course, Salima, of course he got 10 plus kids early. Early in the relation, early in it. And you know what, sisters, y'all know it could be different. Especially if it's 4 women, that means it's 4 different women. That means I got a nice slim one with big boobs. That means I got one over here. She got a big hips in the like, nigga, I'm feeling like, are you crazy? 4 status curves. That nigga is the illustrious impotent. He didn't put that on the website. I am the Nisut Grand Illustrious Epperset Impotent. You ain't having no fucking babies. Oh my goodness, man. Did y'all see that video on Kev Gill's joint the other day? The Polight the Polight Dakota shit. That was live, yo. Majesty did his thing, yo. That shit was hilarious. He's just so full of shit, yo. All of them niggas is so full of shit. That's why I was so happy that it started out with Sarnetta getting into his ass. I was so happy about that shit. Yeah, Salima, that's what I said, yo. I would have 10, 11 kids within the first 5 years of the marriage. And then I'll be nipping my balls after that. Like, all right, we got too many babies. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be the end of that shit. That would be the end of that shit. But all I know is how the fuck you got all them wives and you ain't got no kids. Like, that's a telltale sign right there that you lying, nigga. The fuck? You know how many black men who got wives, who got women out here, that had 6 abortions, nigga, because he would have had 6 more kids other than with his wife. Like, but you living with these women, so you ain't even gotta see them from time to time. 2 white girls. 2 white girls, 1 time share. In the hopes of having my own reality show TV. 2 white girls, 1 I ate. No pun, and the pun is intended. 2 white girls and 1 I ate. Yo, man, this nigga said, can a white girl wear African garb? I was like, are you serious, nigga? That's what you using to try to get us off of what happened to that police brutality case? Is that what you using? Is that what you using to get us off of why you was in the car with the tranny and the tranny said on the interview, and we had a good time too? So whatever the fuck went on, nigga, they had a good time. She or she, I ain't calling you no, what up, Quad? Like, yo, you had a good time. It had a good fucking time, Polight. That's all I know. Cause that's what the motherfucker said. And we already know you're a liar. We already know that you'll say the opposite of what really happened. So we can't even ask you, Polight. You're not gonna be honest with us. But yeah, yo, now we talking about white people, him caping for white people, and who would put you up to that other than white people? How come he wasn't caping for white people? Where was all these white people when you got accosted by the police? I want y'all to let me know in this chat right now, how many people noticed white people sticking up for Polight when he was getting harassed by the police and he had a police brutality campaign going on? When he had a police brutality campaign, how many people that were in the audience were white and that came there? Notice how we didn't see that. Notice how we seen no white people at any of Polight's rallies when he was abused by the police. Notice how Polight didn't get his lawyer money from any white people. You got rich white friends. Why didn't you ask them for the money for your attorney? They would have happily fucking given it to you as much as you cape for them. Because that's what you do, cape for them. So why don't they cape for you, Polight? Because you're a clown and you don't really know them. And they see you around and they see that we could use this nigga, and that's what's happening now. Polight's being used. He's allowing himself to be used. That's his whole mission in life. That was his whole mission of going to California. That was his whole mission of coming to sign at his page. Let's take it back to the beginning. Let's not go too far. His whole mission of coming to Signetta's page was to be used by Signetta so that he could be famous. So Signetta concocted a story. Hey, let's make you a young phenom and let's have you attract to the younger generation so I could bring in a younger generation, bring the youth in, and that way not only do I got viewers, but I got viewers for the next 20 years. That's how he was thinking. That was the plan. It was put into motion. That's what was going on. When I tell you guys these things, I always say, this is not rocket science. All it is me actually being objective and looking at these people. Like, what are you doing? What is your end goal? What is the purpose of you even doing this shit? How come you purport to have so much money, yet you stay in front of this YouTube TV page? So what are you doing? This shit must be more important to you than you say. It has to be. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Born Majesty, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Yes, and we enjoyed it, and I might watch it again. While you bring it up, I might watch it again. I gotta go make my kids something to eat in a second, so yeah, I might go watch it again. Why not? What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what I might do. It was very entertaining, but on top of that, on top of it being entertaining, it was very, 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 very true. It was informative. That's what I like. I like when I like to be entertained whilst being informed. Like, I don't want one without the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to just be entertained and not being informed. Like, I don't know. I think I told you guys before. Like, when I usually play my Xbox and I'm playing my video games, I'm always listening to a lecture. I cannot just entertain myself without, you know what I'm saying, being informed. So when I'm drawing or working on my art, then I'll listen to something funny. You know what I'm saying? When I'm doing something serious, then I'll listen to Netflix or something. You know what I'm saying? His rewinds and shit like that. Okay? So that's where we are, guys. We're just letting you guys know that Polight's full of shit and he's attempting to have a reality show. He's attempting to do whatever it takes to get a reality show. He's still talking and pushing his polygamy bullshit when you already got exposed by somebody who you said was your wife, who came out and said that that's not, that we weren't married. It's all an act. It's all an act. He keeps thinking these things will go away because the views aren't 20,000 yet. Well, most of us don't pay for our views like you do, Polight. We know that you do that shit. We know that you go and you pay the $30 and get whatever views, 1,000 views or 200 views for $30 or however the fuck they do it. So we already know that that's what you do, which is your fucking business. But I'm just saying, like, yo, don't make that your life, son. Don't do that, Polight. Don't run around and use black people. Don't run around and talk about how much you love black women when you are the first nigga in the world to throw a black woman in front of you as a shield to protect you from some bullshit. Because that's what you do. You throw black women in front of you to protect you from bullshit. You throw black women out there and say that black women inspired you to write 80 plus books because your wives get turned on when you be doing intelligent things like working on books and trying to write books. Then we come in, we find out that all the shit you did was copy and pasted. So now you basically blaming and saying that a sister made you copy and paste a book. You throw a sister on your page talking about with her daughter now, with the child. Remember he had the child in there? You bring the daughter on the fucking page, on the lady on the page with her daughter, bring her in your house and all that bullshit. Then you turn around trying to use her identity to scam motherfuckers and shit like that. She catches on to that shit, and what does she do? She comes out and tells the truth like, yo, this nigga's full of shit. We were never married. And that's that. And then you and your uncle father proceed to bash her and talk shit about her. But notice how that's a black queen. That's a queen, a black queen. No, he ain't have no problem using her name and her identity to try to get $1,500 from some college. But that's the queen. Who the fuck? First off, dog, like I said, man, we all knew it was bullshit because you got with that girl. She basically told the truth about you in a way that a lot of us could never do. She told the truth about you, Polight, in what way? She told the truth by saying, hey, this motherfucker, I was supposed to have a speaking engagement. That means you're telling these women that you could get them speaking engagements and things like that to talk about XYZ, and it's all a lie. You full of shit. These people had no idea who the fuck you were, no idea, with no dealings with you with this school, no contract, no nothing, no knowledge of anything that they were supposed to be doing with you. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Oh my gosh, guys. I'm about to go. I gotta go make food for my babes. For my children's. It's been fun. Yeah, he robbed the people that Lolita. Thank you, Tasha Pope. You are the best. They it was somebody that was Lolita's friends, I think she said. And she said that they gave Polight money, nigga, like real money, like $5,000, G. Like, for somebody to give you $5,000, nigga, they had to do something to accumulate that money. And whatever they did to accumulate that money, they don't deserve to be ripped off by this fucking weirdo and then have to turn around and look at this weirdo in California renting cars and timeshares with their money and then talking shit about it. Like, that's some sick shit, G. I'm never going to leave you alone for that, because when you start owing motherfuckers money, everybody ain't lying on you, nigga. And you could try that bullshit all you want to, but everyone's not lying on you. And you were doing people dirty. You were shitting on people, stealing money. You had this woman bring you somebody. That's what that whole situation with Lolita is. If I feel, and this is just me because I don't know her personally, but I feel that she's more hurt because the people who got scammed by you were probably someone that she brung along. When she probably had somebody that she brung along. It was somebody that she said, hey, look, this is Brother Polight. He's a very powerful brother. He's out here with his boots to the ground and doing his thing and blah, 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 blah. And then these people said, fuck it, we going to contribute to your black business and fuck with you. And what do? You straight fuck them over, G. You straight fucked them over. Now you got this woman looking crazy. Not only do you owe people her friends $5,000, it looks weird because she more than likely, I don't know if it's a fact or if it's true. I mean, if it isn't a fact, but more than likely she brought them to you. That shit's crazy. That shit's crazy. Yeah, put it back up, Majesty. Fuck Polight. He's a fucking weirdo, G. Like, that nigga's such a fucking thespian. It's crazy. He's such a fucking thespian. That's why I was like, I don't know why he trying to get all mad with the tranny gate. I don't know what y'all talking about, yo. Don't be associating with the Polight with no such. That was yada. Straight snitching, first of all, nigga. And why the fuck would we listen to anything you say because you already told lies? Bitch, you said Ashley Wright was your wife and that little girl was your daughter. And you just was saying that shit, nigga. That's why I always tell you guys, we're bringing up current events. We're not talking about shit that happened 10 years ago. We're talking about current events where motherfuckers said that you've been owing him $5,000 for 2 years now. You've been telling this man you're going to pay him back his money for 2 years now. We seen the emails. We seen the messages. Why the fuck it taking you 2 years to pay somebody back, but you supposedly went to Egypt during that time? Is that how you went to Egypt for the Kim and On trial debate? Is that how you went to Egypt? You went out there and scammed motherfuckers out of 20 grand and then went to Egypt so that you could one-up the Hebrews and look like a top dog after Sarnetta edited the video and made... Because when I heard Kim and On trial, the fucking actual video footage that's on YouTube now is nothing like what the fuck is over there. That shit is crazy, man. These guys are fucking nuts. And now Filthy Frank trying to rebuild that sinking ship. Listen, nigga, when a ship is capsizing and sinking, you get out of that motherfucker and get in the life rafts, nigga. This old motherfucker think he gonna fix that shit. You is not gonna fix that shit, man. That shit has got holes all in that motherfucking ship. That HOK shit is done, dog. You are sinking. You sunk it. Sarnetta, the moment that you came out and told the world how phony and fake Polight really was, that was the end of yourself. It wasn't just the end of him. It's the beginning of the end of him. For you, you're done. Because niggas is saying 1 + 1 = 2, not 37, motherfucker. So if 1 + 1 = 2, if you knew this nigga was doing all this shit, and you knew this nigga was a fraud, and you knew this nigga was a liar, and you knew this nigga this, and you knew that, and you knew this, how the fuck was you fucking with him all this time? And not only how were you fucking with him all this time, how are you yet again still fucking with him, even promoting his name, and you have yet, or he has yet, to come out and even address that he was scamming and that he apologizes or anything. Yo, that shit is fucking crazy. I love y'all very much. Grandma UK, who's in here? Tasha Pope, of course. Keisha Ray, of course. Tiv, Born Majesty, again, thank you very much. You are a celebrity in our eyes. Much more than Polight would ever dream to be. This nigga just said he's a celebrity. He better shut up before I make a fucking joint about... Yo, internal Kev Gills, appreciate it. Look at... Yo, you late, Snapella. You just got here. Don't try to act like you been here the whole time, nigga. You know you just got here, nigga. I seen my girl Greens in here. Yo, everybody, man, I love y'all dearly for fucking with me. Yo, let me get a like. Let me get a fucking a share. If you don't buy a t-shirt, go there and just share them. Whatever ones you like, just share them. You know, y'all know I don't ask y'all to buy, so just share. But if you want to buy, you can fucking buy. Now, let's not get that twisted. But just share it, and that's it, man. Y'all know I'm gonna be back. I didn't go too hard on Prince York because I'm trying to save that one, yo. I'm trying to save the Prince York shit for a special joint. Cause I'm gonna do my joint where celebrity mascot. New Covenant for life. Nisu, the Grand Nisu Epperset Impotent. That's his new name, Epperset Impotent, nigga. That's his new Egyptian name, Impotent. You ain't potent, motherfucker. Grand Epperset Impotent. Oh my goodness. But I'm gonna go in on Prince York's weird ass because he was running his mouth and he just put his foot all in. Yes, Prince York is the future of Shame TV, Shame of the Week. That's Prince York's future exists on Shame TV, Shame of the Week. Because that motherfucker came out and said that he used his diplomatic status as a new Wapian diplomat, and he's this, that, and that's how he didn't go to jail, and then turn right around and let him talk long enough, and the nigga call his name, and he turn around and they lock your dumb ass up. So, with no evidence or anything other sort to show anything. Also, we have to dissect the fact that Prince York came out and actually said out his mouth that there was a Nuwapian council that was put together, okay? Okay, for that lima bean. Prince York said that there was a council put together And after the council was put together, they came to the conclusions that they knew what happened to the victim more than the victim themselves. Now, I know that sounds crazy, people. I know that defies logic. I know that means 3 plus 3 isn't 6. It's 91 in their eyes. But we're going to go with it. That's what he said. So we're going to have to dissect that shit because Prince York, we don't understand how your counsel can tell. There's too many questions wrapped up around that. So we're going to have to get into that. So like, comment, share, subscribe. Subscribe. It's been fun. It's been real. And let me go handle my babies, guys.